Hey guys, it's Tony. So I wanted to come on here and talk a little bit about the 0.5 and 618 fibs and why they are, really key at understanding, very, very, very long, long breakouts, right? And why I love using this method to catch a possible, not only not the retracement, but the push back to the upside, right? And why I think it's an insanely good, it's an insanely good tool to use. Actually, I used this the wrong way. Let me reset this up. It's actually from, lows down to highs. Yeah, there we go. So this is why, I love the fib, because it gives you a really good, indicator of when you see something breaking out like this, right? Something breaking out like that, more than likely, it's gonna have a 0.5 or 0.618 retracement on the fib. I've seen it happen like 98% of the time, 95% of the time, definitely over 90%. So, it's a really good way of, catching these huge, if you missed out on a huge breakout like this, for example, like Sol, and I'll give you guys another example. It retraced back to here. Go this way. It retraced back to the 0.5 fib, right? So the golden numbers are 0.5 and 0.618. And whenever I want to actually trade something, literally the only strategy that you can use that's actually extremely helpful is look for that retracement, right? So you have a major breakout, it falls, retraces, add a buy limit on the 0.5, 0.6, and then you would have you would have your stop loss at the 0.786 level, right? And you would have your take profit at the 0.236. That's usually what can happen. So you do risk, it's not a 2-to-1 ratio trade, but the chances of it actually going in your favor are extremely high. And Sol is just an example, and this is on the weekly chart, right? So to give you guys a nice forecast, if you would have bought here at the 0.5 to now, that would have been an easy 40% gain, whether wherever you see it. And again, I only like using this on the weekly. When you see the weekly retrace like that, I always buy in on the 0.5, 0.618 fibs, and then I set a sell limit for that 0.78 or a stop loss, and I set my take profit at the 0.236 level. Generally a little bit lower where the second candle opens from the actual peak. I'll give you guys another example. We can go to Axie Infinity. Same exact thing happened on the weekly, right? Same exact thing. You see a massive rally out of nowhere. It retraces back to the 0.5 level, and it already went to the, actually, I have this backwards as well. So, relative low, relative high. And again, massive push upwards, retracement, it wicks down to 0.5, boom, shoots back up. In a case like this, I would have still set my TP at 236. So I would have missed out on an insane amount of gain. But if you're looking at just to play the actual, break to the upside, not even adding a take profit is actually a pretty good strategy. And it gives you a lot of momentum to the upside, especially if you're not planning on selling or you just want to have a good entry. So, just two examples of it working. And I've seen this work plenty of times before. I use this strategy all the time, especially when you have, a solid mover like, like Sol, like Axie Infinity. You can use this on it's generally, I really only use it on coins that are not, I use it on coins that are not, what is it called? Like Bitcoin or Ethereum. Like I would use this on like Matic if it has like a random run up, or, generally this works really well for newer coins like Avalanche, or I don't know, whenever you see like a nice little run like this, you know, all you really see is just sideways trading and then a pump. Usually the case for those coins is that it retraces to a 0.5, 0.618 level on the fib, and then it absolutely moons all over again. Just like the case for Sol and Axie Infinity. I can guarantee you this happened on Quant too. I haven't even looked at Quant's chart. Quant. So on the weekly, same thing. Fib, you can go from lows, you know, to the highs. Retrace to what? So Quant would actually be a really good level to buy in right now. Quant retraced to the 0.5. It stayed here. I can easily see it running up the same way that Axie Infinity and Sol did. And like I said, it's right at the 0.5 hip. It's actually a little bit higher. It's closer to the 0.382 level. Remember that the golden fibs are always 0.5 and 0.618. But again, you know, Quant hasn't done this yet, and I can fully expect it to do something similar maybe in the coming weeks. Let me get a better chart of Quant. Coinbase? Weekly? Yeah, we'll do something like this. I guess this one's a little bit easier. So, relative low, relative high. Whoops. So here, see? But on this chart, you actually don't have Quant touching that 0.5 level yet. So because I would be using Coinbase's chart, I would not be getting into Quant just because the you know, it didn't touch that 0.5, but it did touch it. I think we just used Binance's chart. So on Binance, you would have probably gotten in on that 0.5. But again, it's a super solid strategy. Like I said, usually with coins like this that trade sideways for a bit and then they pump heavily, they end up retracing to that 0.5, 0.618 level, and then going back up to at least that 0.236. So you can definitely see from that pump maybe 40-50% gain, you know, and I've seen that over and over and over again on so many crypto. So it's just another extra strategy for you guys to use when you see, you know, specifically this kind of trading pattern, right? Just kind of trading sideways, nice blow up, you missed the blow up, wait for that retracement, buy in on the 0.5, 0.618, and then ride it up 30-40%. You know, it's worked almost every time. So, you know, it's not a bad strategy to keep in your, you know, in your repository of strategies for trading. So I'll see you guys later.